Hey guys, Steve Ferguson here with Thrive Mortgage. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to visit about something super important, which is how do I find the least expensive home to buy? I like to say, what's the cheapest house? So let's get started. The very first thing you need to do when you're researching which home to buy is check out tax rates. So a lot of people think it's going to be interest rate or other things that are really going to impact your mortgage payment, but taxes have a huge impact on how much you pay per month. Now, you may not know this, but every subdivision has a different tax rate. So you could be living across the street from a subdivision that's less expensive to live in than where you are right now. So when you're doing the research, you want to look at subdivisions that are either A, outside the city limits, which you may be surprised. You may not even realize you're outside the city because the city keeps going, but you're outside the city limits. B, they're not in your municipal utility district. So for example, if you're looking at brand new home subdivisions, they have really nice sidewalks, great green space, all these lights and playscapes and pools and dog parks. Guess who pays for that? The people who live there. That's because when they built that subdivision, they paid for it right up front. The contractors, developers all put it in and paid for it, but they create what's called a municipal utility district, which is an added tax to you as the homeowner to pay for it. And it takes a long, long time to get that done. So remember, newer subdivisions are going to have higher tax rates, which means they're going to be more expensive. Plus they're going to have HOA fees. So HOA fees are great. You know, it keeps housing nice and clean, but there's a lot of great communities out there that don't have HOA fees. So we've already talked about subdivision, taxes. Now let's talk about the property itself. So when you're looking at property, just like in cars, if you're buying new, you're paying a premium. If you're buying a slightly used car, aka a slightly used house, you generally get a better deal. Now, the reason this is important to think about is because homes that have been around for a little while live in established neighborhoods, right? Great trees, great yards, great school systems, etc. You don't have the constant construction going on. There's a lot of benefits to buying something that exists. So buying a slightly older home in the right subdivision outside the city limits, guess what? That's going to be a really well-priced home. Now, here's another secret sauce that you may not know exists. This is for the state of Texas. I can't tell you everywhere, but property taxes are a really important thing like we spoke about before. In Texas, you have a homestead exemption law. The longer an owner has owned that home, generally speaking, the lower the taxes are going to be as long as that property is homesteaded. So for example, if I bought a home 10 years ago and I put a homestead exemption on it, taxing authorities can only raise my taxes 10% year over year. It's capped. Versus if I bought an investment property 10 years ago, the taxing authority could tax whatever they want to on it. So that means my taxes are going to be lower on a property that I own for a longer period of time. So here's your secret sauce. Existing home, not new construction, in a great area, a great subdivision with low taxes. And just because it's a mud or new doesn't mean that this new subdivision has different taxes than this new subdivision. So check your taxes. Outside the city limits if you can get it. If you don't have kids, you want to be outside of any kind of collegiate area where you have college taxes as well. So any of those areas being outside of those is going to be really important. And buy a home that somebody has lived in for a longer period of time. That is going to give you your biggest bang for the buck, your lowest house price, your biggest square footage, whatever that looks like. If you can find that, which if you're working with a great agent, you can. If you need an agent to refer to, I'll be happy to refer them to you. But check those things out, guys. All right, don't forget to like or subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of great videos coming out. And give me feedback. Tell me what you think. If you have other ideas, comments below. Don't forget. I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.